Hello and welcome to the Quantum Empowerment Show. My name is Christopher Muller. I'm your host, the Quantum Empowerment Coach and Holistic Therapist.
Today we're going to share part 2 of the Death and Return interview, as we're calling it. If you haven't seen part 1, there should be obvious links wherever you're watching this, whether it be on the website or YouTube channel, to watch the first half. If you can't find it, you can Google the Quantum Empowerment Alliance and email us through our contact form, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. Now, without further ado, here's the second half of the interview.
And I guess the best way, another way to put it is when I came back from that, I remember just that harmony feeling.
Mm-hmm.
When the wind would blow in the trees, I could feel how the leaves felt. I could feel the rustling of the leaves. I could just feel so many different sensations.
Mm-hmm.
As life would go on, and maybe the guy cut me off in traffic, and I invite him to a less than calm discussion to the side of the road to discuss his behavior, there becomes another obstacle in between me and that. There becomes a little bit more separation between me and God. And the more and more I react to it, the more and more distance I put in between there. With love, I begin to decrease in that gap.
Right.
And if I can focus on that, I can maintain that peace, I can maintain that harmony, I can
Maintain that connection.
right. And by maintaining that connection,
Everything that comes with it.
right, and also keep from getting back to the spot I was at.
Yeah. I know how that one goes.
Yeah, it's hard to put into words.
Yeah. Now you talk about being able to feel the wind and the leaves and how the leaves feel from it. So you don't just see things anymore. You feel everything still, similar to what you were talking about, how you could feel things from your heart when you were in that realm.
Right.
You came back with a higher level of awareness.
We were never meant to have physical eyes and physical ears. This body is like a clay pot
Mm-hmm.
that it's entrapping our spirit.
It's a vehicle.
Yeah. When we were cast out of Eden, we were given this body to encase us. So in this life, we're seeing different senses that we're meant to. We're not seeing with our heart.
So you're saying Eden wasn't in our physical bodies in a physical garden?
No. The best way to describe it would be
So it was a spirit world.
spirit world, yes. When we fell from the spirit world, from that essence, that's when we became trapped in our bodies, as we see it now.
Interesting. Okay. So, do you still have this level of awareness? Do you still feel everything around you to some extent?
It has dimmed.
Uh-huh.
As I get distracted by day-to-day life, as the more and more when I lose my focus on God,
Mm-hmm.
and everything I put in between me and God, and that interaction with each little bit of distance, I lose some of that. I wish I could just sit somewhere,
Mm-hmm. And meditating God all the time?
Yeah. When I came back from that,
Mm-hmm.
I had a lot of time to think, reflect, pray, read my Bible, study, and just be at one with God.
Mm-hmm.
Now that you have your day-to-day tasks of life, work,
all the distractions of
bills,
living.
everything, and it's all the petty stuff
Mm-hmm.
They gets in between you and God.
That makes sense. Okay. So, now that you're back, how do you see life in the world differently? Do you still have any sort of suicidal thoughts still?
A couple months ago, it was weird. It was a fleeting thought of suicide.
Okay.
There wasn't any problems in life. There wasn't anything negative. There wasn't anything.
An apparent reason.
No, there was no reason. I wasn't depressed. I wasn't down. I wasn't whatever. And so it was enough to kind of, where is this coming from?
Hmm.
How weird is this? Especially, not only was there nothing negative going on, but to carry, having been through that experience, I mean, there's nothing in life that's compares to it. Nothing in life that's as horrible as that. You know? I wouldn't wish that whole experience on a person I disliked or hated the most. I wouldn't want to see anyone go through that. So I've had to recognize, okay, this is coming from Satan. You know, this thought is coming from Satan, and immediately, hey, let my wife know, hey, I had this awful thought. I reached out and just put it out to people. Hey, I had this weird thought. Everything's cool. I'm doing all right. But almost like hey, let's keep an eye on me for the next day or so. Make sure I don't get sideways.
Okay. Now, do you think it's when you say you think it's coming from Satan, do you mean a demonic force? Do you mean Satan himself is showing up and trying to mess with your head? What do you mean by that?
More like demons.
Okay.
And it sounds...
So forces of darkness, really.
Forces of darkness. And I have to be, I guess, careful when I say that, because I'm nothing important. I'm not some major, person in the grand scheme of the world. But sometimes I think, I feel like demons, they come by and just kind of, throw a little bit of negativity into your mind. Encourage maybe some of the negative thoughts that may still be there. They want to see chaos. They want to see bad things happen to them. They take great joy in it. Because when we do hurtful things or harm ourselves, we hurt God. And they want nothing more than to hurt God. So it's, they do all they can.
Okay. How did your view of life change after this experience? I mean, obviously, you respect life a lot more. In contrast, you were saying to that experience, there's nothing here that's anywhere near that bad. So obviously, you have a much lighter view of life with that bigger comparison to go by.
I try not to take things too seriously now. I mean, it's it's not that serious. I mean, nothing. You lose a job, lose a wife, lose, whatever. I mean, it all compares to, hey, I stubbed my toe. In the grand scheme of things, it's petty. It doesn't matter. I love life nowadays. It has challenging moments, but that's what they are. It's just moments. It'll pass.
And from every challenge, you can learn and grow.
Right. You learn, you grow. Sometimes some moments may seem a little more challenging than others. Well, when that happens, I just kind of switch the channel. Okay, I'm a little frustrated with this situation right now. I'm going to take a pause. I'm not going to think about it right now. I'm going to think about something else.
So you change your focus.
Change my focus, and then maybe I've got a little bit more joy to me. Okay, now I can see this from a different perspective. Or I reach out to people. Hey, I'm a little frustrated about this situation. What's your take? Or even something as silly as go play a board game. Go for a walk. Sometimes I'll just sit at the park and have my cup of coffee and smoke my cigarettes and just I'll watch, families playing with their children,
Mm-hmm.
with just the happiness and the joy.
Okay. How have your relationship changed since you've come back with family, friends, relationship with God?
It's gotten a lot stronger. I see it a lot different. I value my wife a lot more. I value myself a lot more. I value my children, um, other people. I really value my relationship with God and Christ. Um, and part of that, well, big part of that is I've come to appreciate my value. Just how much I mean to God,
Mm-hmm.
just how much I mean to other people, and know and accept my self-worth. And with knowing I have worth, I'm able to show other people they have worth.
Why?
Because I never really understood love. I never really knew what it was meant to be, to love and to be loved. And it's kind of, if you don't love yourself, you can't love others. It.
One of the things that Christ told me in one of our conversations is that, well, one of the things we talked about
Mhm.
is that real divine love, most people can't grasp because they're going from a perspective of human love. And until they build that relationship with God and experience it, or experience divine love from somebody who's already done that, they don't understand what divine love is. They don't understand the difference between the two. They don't understand how much God really cares about us.
Right.
Um, could you elaborate on that a little bit?
Let's, you look at Jesus.
Mhm.
He wasn't just crucified. He chose to allow himself to be crucified. He chose to allow himself to descend into hell for us, to conquer hell so we could go to heaven. Having been into hell myself, I know what a horrible thing that is.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't want to go back there for myself,
Mm-hmm.
let alone the concept of choosing to go there for someone else's wrongs.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not only did he choose to lay his life down, but to put himself through such an eternal torture for us. I mean, that's love.
Mm-hmm.
And
And with this connection that you've talked about having with God and how you can feel everything, and how God felt about you while you were going through those life memories, um, how is that giving you a better understanding of God's love, and how does that compare with human love? Can you contrast and compare a little bit the love of humans versus the love of God?
well, by all human standards, I never should have gotten out of hell. If I were to rely on worldly judgment, worldly perspective, worldly emotion, I never would have left hell. I lived a very bad life. I made a lot of very bad choices. I was a very hurtful person. For God to bring me out of that, for Him to wipe that slate clean, for Him to forgive me of that, and to bring me back, that's love. None of the doctors can medically explain why I'm here after all that. None of them can medically explain why I don't have severe brain damage, why my body is still functioning as good as it is, why I don't have any medical problems. The only medical, I guess you could say, issue I had after coming back was I had a broken finger. There was, I had broken knuckle and ripped some tendons somehow on my finger. no one knows how it happened, but I came back from it with that. You know, they put a splint on it and it healed and everything, but everybody was amazed.
Now you took 3 months worth of pills, each kind of pill, and you had quite a variety that you were talking about, at least half a dozen different pills, right?
I think it's at one point. I tried to work out the math, and it was
Half a dozen different drugs, excuse me.
it was like 9,000 milligrams of Seroquel, for example. Different. I can't remember how much the
That's okay.
math was, but it was a lot. I remember sitting at meeting with when I went to the mental hospital, and when they were discharging me, I was sitting there, and it was the psychiatrist, psychologist, social worker, and medical doctor. They were sitting there, and they revealing you to before you get out. And I remember they asked me, well, we gotta ask, what'd you experience? And I don't want to tell you guys, you've been here longer. I don't know, we want to know. And so I tell them, they all look shocked, and they tell me, well, we've actually heard this before. Out of the 30 years that we've been open, you're one of 5 of the worst case suicides that we've experienced. And the other 4 people have said the same thing. They said, most people come in with this, nice bright white light and rainbows and butterflies, basically, but it's like something they've read out of a book, And they said there was a series of basically 20 medical things that had to be just in perfect check or perfect harmony for me to be alive or for me to come back, and none of them know how or why those things all lined up perfectly. Nobody can explain it.
Yeah, I mean, even one of those drugs that you took, with the amount that you took, should have killed you.
Right.
So your body should be chemically fried.
Yeah. And gosh, I've done CAT scans. I think it's called an EEG, the electrodes and the strobe lights. And, a lot of counseling, a lot of therapy, a lot of medical checking out, basically.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong. I mean, that's God's love right there. It's pretty awesome.
Now, along with God's disappointment, when you were reviewing this stuff, did you feel, was it all just the negative stuff, or did you feel the positive things along with it? You talked mostly about how you had wronged other people and you felt their feelings and you felt God's disappointment. Did you get the other side of it? Or was it mostly just, here's life lessons you need to focus on when you're back?
It was almost like a trial.
Okay.
I want to say it was like a judgment, but that's not the right term. It was kind of like, well, we're not here to focus on the good deeds you've done. You didn't really have the opportunity to say, well, but I helped out that person. It wasn't about that. It was kind of like, yeah, you did this. There was, you felt the hurt, the disappointment, I want to say anger, but anger's not really the right word. It wasn't wrath. I don't know how to, at that point you weren't sensing a gentle correction. It was kind of like, you definitely felt like you were getting ready to be just screwed, for lack of a better term. Not physically screwed, but you don't have a shot. And you knew. You just knew. I don't know.
It's almost figuratively like you're ready for the floor to come out from under you and you're just going to drop into hell.
Yeah. You're kind of, and up until that point, it was like, you could lie to yourself and go, I lived a pretty decent life, yeah, maybe I hurt those 3 people, but I helped a little old lady across the street. Kind of thing. Well, no. You start looking at the whole picture, the whole movie of your life, and it's kind of going, okay.
Okay. So it was mostly just a focus on how you earned your way there.
Yeah.
Before you go, here's why you're going, kind of thing.
Yeah, you knew exactly why you were there.
Okay.
Can we take a break?
Well, actually, we are pretty much out of time, so we're good. This is
All right.
This is it. Thank you very much for taking the time to do this.
Oh, you're welcome. I hope it helps somebody.
Oh, I'm sure it will.
Okay.
I'm sure it will.
Thank you for watching and listening. This video is produced by Digital Media Magic, the magic of the silver screen, bringing you education and empowerment. If you would like more information about our organization, our projects, you can go to www.qealliance.com and check out Digital Media Magic under the media category, our links to our YouTube channel and other social media websites, and find out a bit more about our different projects and what all we do in the world. You're welcome to join in our community. If you like to hear about this kind of information and share information and cooperate in various different endeavors which will benefit mankind on all levels, you're welcome to join the Quantum Empowerment community on our Facebook page, again in the link section of our website. I wish you a wonderful rest of the week. Namaste.